Now at 6, Homeland Security puts local sanctuary cities on notice.
It's something ugly and it's something beautiful.
5 years after the La Mesa riots, we revisit the shopping center that was directly impacted by the chaos.
The highwayman's house is on the road to recovery. The East County Posse is coming to his rescue.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Yes, all the news you need and some feel-good stories as well. Looking forward to sharing that with you. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. on your Friday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. And Evan's off today, so filling in. He doesn't have to tell everyone that it's going to be hot and humid.
He's in Northern California for a wedding where it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, so hotter where he is. This is true. Yes, they're under heat advisories all across California.
Right.
Here in San Diego, yeah, this is hot for us, but not anywhere near as hot as it's going to get to the north. 91 in Escondido today, 92 Ramona, 88 Poway, 81 in Miramar, 77 for downtown. Obviously, the coast will be the place to go if you are just going to get too sweaty out there. Find that relief by our beaches if you can. This heat's going to last through the weekend. We also have humidity and thunderstorms. We'll talk all about that here in your full forecast. And now this morning, we're learning the Trump administration released a sanctuary warning list.
And some cities in San Diego County were put on notice. CBS 8's Chris Groh live downtown with details on the cities that made the list and this new goal for the Trump administration as well. Chris.
Yeah, a lot to get to here today, all seemingly going hand in hand. So let's start with that list that the Department of Homeland Security put out, putting out hundreds, I should say, jurisdictions across the country they believe are, quote, sanctuary cities and in violation of federal immigration law. Now, here locally, we have the entire county of San Diego. So the Board of Supervisors, if you remember, they're the ones who set laws in place, policies, and so forth. Now you also have the city of San Diego, the city of Chula Vista, and the city of Santee. Now, all of these have been notified by the Department of Homeland Security after this list was ordered by the president with an executive order here. The page with the city states that these jurisdictions will be notified and should change policies to comply with federal law. However, it should be pointed out that these cities, our county, and most in our state follow state law SB 54, which was signed into law back in 2017 that limits local cooperation with immigration enforcement on the federal level. In fact, if anything, we know that it's the county that took it further by voting for a, quote, super sanctuary city policy, that's what many critics called it, that further restricted the sheriff's office from notifying ICE or transferring immigrants in jail. Those were policies that were allowed even under SB 54, but Sheriff Kelly Martinez has maintained that she will follow state law, which allows for what the county tried to stop. All that being said, they're the ones who, if anything, have further gone down that super sanctuary beyond SB 54, but many of these cities simply follow SB 54. It's not clear why there aren't more cities from Southern California, from our region, that are not listed under this. Now, this, though, is coming at a time when the Trump administration officials are asking for 3,000 ICE arrests a day. We've seen firsthand as ICE agents are in federal courthouses now, outside courtrooms, waiting for cases to be dismissed or continued to take people into custody for expedited removal. Here's Trump White House border czar Tom Homan.
We lifted the whole central location policy. ICE was the only law enforcement agency that had a policy: you can't arrest somebody at a courthouse, you can't arrest somebody at a medical center, you can't arrest somebody at a church. And look, there's no sanctuary for a public safety threat or national security threat.
Now, I've reached out to every jurisdiction that's on this list, including each of the county board of supervisors, each one of the supervisors. What we'll have to wait to see what they say back again at 6 o'clock in the morning. As for what could happen to these jurisdictions, both the threat of legal action as well as federal funding being withheld. Eric and Netta?
Okay, a lot to unravel there. Thank you very much, Chris. This morning, the county medical examiner says a human foot found at Torrey Pines State Beach belongs to a 10-year-old girl who went missing after a suspected smuggling boat capsized earlier this month. 3 others died in that incident May 5th, including the girl's 14-year-old brother.
State Farm's latest insurance rate hike begins this Sunday. This comes after an emergency increase was approved by California's insurance commissioner. This includes an average 17% rise for homeowners, 15% for renters and condo owners, and a 38% spike for rental property owners. Today marks 5 years since a crowd of protesters, angry after a La Mesa police officer harassed and shoved a black man at a trolley stop, converged on the city.
By the end of the night, people were hurt, businesses looted, banks burned down. CBS 8's Shannon Handy visits the sports shop where looters destroyed everything except La Mesa's spirit.
5 years ago, chaos erupted in this shopping center. Rioters vandalized businesses and stole merchandise. Today, it seems like things are back to normal, and for the most part, they are. But there are still a few signs, as well as the memories of that day that still remain. On the day we shot this story, the La Mesa Springs Shopping Center appeared like any other, a peaceful place with locals coming and going as they run errands or grab a bite to eat. But 5 years ago, on May 30th, 2020, we documented something much different. Rioters descended here following what started out as a peaceful Black Lives Matter demonstration outside the police station just down the street.
I want to show you guys what's going on.
I was reporting from La Mesa PD as people smashed windows, stormed businesses, and stole thousands of dollars worth of items.
They've looted just about everything they could get their hands on.
CBS 8 chief photographer Kenny McGregor captured video of the destruction as well as the anger amongst business owners.
I know this is wrong. This doesn't improve anything.
But there was also a small gesture of peace as Pastor Travis Ferguson from Christ Lutheran Church in La Mesa prayed over the destruction.
Christ, have mercy. Bring racial reconciliation, bring peace.
Then the next day, even more resilience. Volunteers showed up to help businesses clean up the damage left behind.
I came to work thinking it was going to be me and 3 other people. I walked into the store and I didn't know where to start. It felt like the whole neighborhood, the whole city was inside this one store.
John Flores was the manager of Play It Against Sports. He still works there today. He recalled arriving to the store the night of the riot, saying there was extensive water damage from the sprinklers that put out a fire, and most of their merchandise was either damaged or gone.
None of these bikes that were up high, they were full just about the same, and only one wheel was left. As far as all of our bats, they were all gone. Our gloves were soaking wet. Our owner actually came to the store to try to defend it.
Play It Against Sports was among these stores hit the hardest. Vaughn, Sally Beauty, and Postal Annex also suffered extensive theft and damage. For some, it took just days to reopen. For Play It Against Sports, it took months. Nowadays, you never know anything happened here except for a few subtle signs.
A dent right here from someone trying to get in the register. We also still have the artwork from when we boarded up the windows.
Something else still here, the rock used to break into the store. It has since been painted with messages of hope and love.
The owner's family ended up taking it home, and they painted on it, made something ugly into something beautiful.
It's a symbol of what La Mesa overcame and the good of the people living here who made it possible. Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Yeah, amazing to see the community coming together after something like that. Rioters set fire to both banks on Spring Street that night. Coming up at 7 a.m., Steve Price showing us how the banks rebuilt and reopened, plus how safe were those safe deposit boxes. That's at 7 a.m. on the CW. Taking a peek outside here on this Friday, made it to the weekend. Boy, we're going to notice some changes this weekend, Netta.
Yeah, you ready? That AC, if you have it, it's going to probably be put to use. People with swimming pools will be very popular, and of course, the beach will be very popular. You saw that view of the Hotel Del. We do have clouds overhead, not as thick or expansive as yesterday's marine layer, and this is going to clear up a lot quicker than yesterday. I know yesterday we had all these high hopes that we'd have more sunshine. We got it later in the day. It didn't get that hot yesterday because the clouds were not so quick to move along. Today, completely different. This will be quite a shock to your system because we're looking at 90-degree weather today. Add that humidity, and it's just going to feel muggy, very muggy for San Diego. We're not used to that. Thunderstorms are possible for Saturday into Sunday, mainly Sunday, and the muggy weather will last through the weekend before another area of low pressure cools things down a little bit for early next week. So we have that relief to look forward to. But looking at heat advisories, as I mentioned, up and down the state all the way until about LA area. That's where those advisories are because of triple-digit weather. I mean, they will be sweltering. Fire weather watch up in the mountains around the Nevada Tahoe area. And then looking right now at San Diego, I mean, we're doing well considering what the rest of the state will be dealing with. High pressure's here, but we also have an area of low pressure that's going to help kind of add that moisture. Unfortunately, that brings humidity, but it could bring us showers, which might cool things down. As you see our afternoon highs today, take a look at your neighborhood from the South Bay to North County. We're all going to be a lot hotter than yesterday, a lot hotter than normal by about 15 degrees for many of you. 92 Ramona, 91 in Escondido. Don't spend too much time outside if it gets really uncomfortable because the humidity makes it feel a lot hotter. As far as traffic goes, glad to report we don't have any major incidents that might slow you down. There is one crash I want to let you know about this in the East County mountains. It looks like on the 94 at Campo Road westbound at Lucky 6 Truck Trail. That crash just showed up and you see that yellow indicating some minor slowing. Now for border wait times, let's check in on this. Friday morning, San Ysidro Port of Entry, a busy place to be, 105 minutes to get through. Otay Mesa's Port of Entry a little bit longer at 110 minutes. Eric.
Still ahead, Israel accepts a ceasefire proposal, the response from Hamas. Plus, trade turmoil, the latest twist in the tariff saga. And the Spelling Bee champions' impressive comeback story.